Well, howdy everybody, and welcome to another edition of Stockshow Confidential. I'm Terry Jordan. This week we're in the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado for the greatest show on dirt. You know what makes it so great? Well, it's historic yards. Follow me along as we take you on a tour, talk to some of the top genetic people, and look at some of the top herd sires in the country. Friends, I'm here with Mary Ritter from Hereford Ranch. And Mary, y'all just came out with a champion pen of yearling bulls. Let's talk about, whenever we talk about a pen of 10, there is a lot that goes into that.
Okay, first, it's called a carload. And that, historically, in the Denver Stock Show, it's the only carload show, bull show in the world. There's a lot of great shows in Canada and US and South America, etc., but we're it for a carload show. Really, truly, you start the evaluation process at birth. When you see a bull calf that you really like and it really fits the image of your whole operation, you keep your eye on them for a long time. We select probably in July or August. We're deciding on what bull calves we want to pull in. We had 22 calves that we developed. We bring 10 out to show. So we brought 10, an alternate, and left 11 at home. The reason we're here, it's a show, we compete, we want to win the grand champion, everybody does that comes out here, but we're here to market. Our business is not the show business, our business is selling bulls. And so this is a great way to put our cattle in front of people literally all over the world come to the Denver Stock Show.
Let's talk about how much time does it take to get 10 bulls ready? I mean, it doesn't start right here, it starts way back home. But once you get here, how much time goes into getting these prepared to go into show?
Okay, today's Friday. We came a week ago Wednesday, so we spend 10 or 11 days here. And the reason we come out so early is we have to acclimate them, sort of to the elevation of Denver, but more so we don't want cattle to go off feed and off water. We want to take care of them, we want them to feel good, we want them to look good on show day. So we come out, we set up our tie-out pen at night, or our tie-out pen and our night pen, and then we start working with them really heavily. Some operations work with their cattle in terms of getting them ready to show a lot sooner than we do. These cattle were only tied up 2 times before we brought them to Denver, which a lot of people find hard to believe, but the good Hereford disposition, and then we really watch disposition. So it's possible for us to bring them out and just start kind of tying them and working with them here. And it's also important to understand carload bulls show differently from other show cattle. They show as a group. So we don't stick them and lead them by halter. We put them into the show ring one by one, and then they put all 10 together. Time, commitment, incredible. And family, we hire friends, we hire people to come out and help us. And the people at home, you know, the people that are here are displaced, so there's got to be people at home watching your operation too.
If you're going to find a bull, this is the place to be for the yards.
This is the place to be. The Ritter family's been here since the 1940s, and we didn't even realize it was that long. John's granddad came out. John's dad's first carload came in 1950. John's first carload came a couple years after his father was killed in a ranch accident, and that was 1975. So not every year, but nearly every year, Ritter Hereford Ranch has been here.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with your continued bull sales.
Thank you.
We appreciate you sitting down with us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Sullivan Show Supply was established with the vision of producing more than just your ordinary show supply products. Whether it's fitting supplies you're looking for or the latest equipment, everything you need to make it into the winner's circle is right here. Don't just take it from me, take it from them. Sullivan Show Supply will be here before and after the sale.
On this week's Sunglow Spotlight, we'd like to shine the spotlight on Conor Young from Greentown, Indiana. Congratulations, Conor. One of the things that makes the National Western so important are the yard. Now, this great event started back 107 years ago. They ran for 6 days and 15,000 people in attendance. One of the interesting facts about the National Western, the Grand Champion steer sold for a grand total of 33 cents a pound, and that was 23 cents over market price. We're going to take a look at all these great animals. This is a great place to be if you're a cattle person. Folks, I'm here with a guy that has been coming to Denver for a long, long time, Gib Yardley. Gib, you told me that you came here the first time when you were 17 years old. You're now 81.
I rode the Greyhound bus out here through the mountains of Colorado and Utah.
Tell me what you've seen are the biggest changes at the Denver Stock Show.
I think the cattle have changed a lot. They're more moderate, and overall, though, it's about the same. I love these old yards. I hope they never move these yards because this is really the core of the stock show.
We had the opportunity a while ago to talk with Jeannie for a minute. You know, and I can tell you, she is such a wonderful lady. You grew her up. She's running these yards from the time that she was a little girl.
That's the truth. I used to show feeder calves here for years. One year I showed 42 feeder calves. And I showed cattle here for 37 years, but we don't show them anymore. We're too busy at home. We have one of the largest bull sales in Western America. We'll have about 225 bulls this year.
I also know that they kind of honored you here at the National Western. You got a couple of awards from the National Western.
Yeah, as one of the oldest exhibitors here.
That's incredible. Gib, thanks for spending time with us, and good luck with your bulls up that way.
Thank you, and thanks for talking to me.
Well, you know, any part of a stock show, well, there's always royalty involved. And I'm alongside Brooke Jensen. Now, Brooke, you're the National Hereford Queen.
Right.
Let's talk about your family. You grew up in a strong Hereford family. I know you've been showing cattle for a long time. Let's talk about your career.
I have. My parents have shown cattle their whole lives. Since I was born, I've been on the road with my parents all across country, Canada. It's been awesome. I've experienced so much in my young life. I have a lot to thank for that, and I've done so many accomplishments in the ring and outside of it with my cattle. It's been great.
Let's talk about the duties of the National Hereford Queen. Tell me about that.
Well, so far I've been to Louisville and Reno, and now I'm at Denver. I put a lot of miles on my boots. I have led in a ton of classes. Yesterday, actually, when Miles McGee, the bull, won, I got to be a part of the history when the real Miles McGee came out and surprised him, the family in the ring, and that was really great.
Yeah.
So I basically am just the public figure, and I get to be a role model and meet lots of people, and it's been great.
Well, I know that you've been doing this for so long. If a young girl wanted to follow in your footsteps, what would you recommend?
I think, first of all, they need to learn more about the Herefords. They need to experience more than just the ring. They need to be on the ranch and see the Herefords and understand what you're representing. Like, I know I'm very passionate about the Herefords, and I plan to be in the Hereford breed my whole life. And so being the National Hereford Queen has been a great experience because I love the Herefords and I know so much about them.
Well, and one of the things that's kind of interesting right now that we're seeing an explosion on the market. We saw a Hereford cow sell for $100,000. We saw a bull sell for $600,000. It's just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, which is awesome because I'm at the point where Herefords are peaking as National Queen, and I get to be a part of that. And I think that's awesome for my life, and I get to be part of that in the Herefords.
Well, what a great place to be. And I tell you, I know your mom and dad, Sheila and Kevin, are really proud of you. We wish you the best of luck. We're going to see you down the trail at a lot of the other shows.
Thank you.
watching Stockshow Confidential. We'll be right back.
Stockshow Confidential is brought to you by the following sponsors: Sullivan Show Supply and Stockshow University, Sure Champ, Sunglow Feeds, 5-Star Ford, WW Livestock System, EB Trailer, Luberson Livestock, and StockShowConfidential.com. This segment of Stock Show Confidential is brought to you by WW Livestock Systems, the leader in livestock handling equipment. I'm here with Guy Collier, and Guy, you're with Collier Hereford Ranch, but this is really an exceptional bull that we're looking at here. Let's talk about him for just a minute.
Well, I guess, yeah, he has been an awful good calf. We showed him here in the pens last year. We had champion pen of 3. Drew a tremendous amount of interest when he was shown here a year ago. We took him then on down to Fort Worth, where he was champion bull at the Fort Worth Stock Show. Then we sold him at our annual production sale. He was lot 37 in our sale. We knew we had a tremendous amount of interest in the bull, but had no idea that he would end up bringing $600,000 for 3/4 interest, and had people from all over the United States, and really drew worldwide interest when he brought that kind of money.
Let's talk about what makes him worth $600,000. You know, a lot of people that might watch our show and they just look at, whenever they see cattle, they just see cattle, but they don't understand the genetics behind that, or maybe the breeding and how long it takes you guys to get to the point that you're at.
Well, it's kind of interesting as far as the genetics of the bull. His mother was the first Supreme Champion bull heifer here in Denver. Flushed that cow, got numerous progeny that went ahead and she's raised other national champions. So on the bottom side, we knew we had a real strong maternal kind of a bull. Then the 88X sire, the sire of this bull is a bull that Kyle was able to purchase and did an exceptional job, and it was just kind of a rare combination, both heifers and bulls that are full brothers and sisters to this bull, that's went ahead and been able to produce this. This bull is exceptionally unique as far as his phenotype, for a bull to have that much rib and volume and muscle and still maintain a real free and easy movement about him, and also was extremely clean up through his front end, and just kind of an ideal beef animal.
Well, one of these only comes along once in a lifetime. Congratulations. I tell you, you ought to be extremely proud of the operation that you've had.
Well, thank you very much. I sure appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun having it.
Well, I'm down in the yards with Marshall Ernst, and Marshall, something that is new this year for the National Western is the Heifer Mark. Now, a lot of people think that whenever they come into one of these major stock shows, you're looking at really expensive animals, but that might not be the case. This may be the opportunity for some people that, on a limited budget, can come in and look at some really good heifers and some steers as well.
Absolutely. Over the last couple of years, we've had exhibitors talk to us about doing private treaty sales in the yards. And we didn't really like the idea of rogue sales popping up all over, so we came up with the idea of the Heifer Mart. And the Heifer Mart is an area where there's no show associated with it. Exhibitors can enter 3 to 10 animals, and they're for display purposes and selling those cattle if they choose to. It's a great opportunity for them to come to Denver, not have the risk and the expense of going into the show ring, but we believe there's a lot of cattle producers out there that really have good cattle, like to come to Denver and take advantage of the crowds we have here, but don't want to get into that showing thing.
Right. A lot of people, whenever they think of breeders, they think of people that have a very large herd of cows along with bulls. These guys may have a limited number of cows, but really raise some really good heifers and some good steers.
You hit the nail exactly on the head. There's an awful lot of producers that produce really good cattle. And then, as you had mentioned on the buying side, this is an opportunity to come in, and we know that these show heifers up on the hill bring pretty pricey numbers. This is an opportunity to come in and buy a group of females that are bred similarly. You get to compare them with the show cattle here, but we see it as a real new venture and a new opportunity for a different segment of the cattle industry to come in and sell and buy cattle.
Well, one of the nice things about being here in Denver, everybody thinks that whenever you come up here it's going to be cold weather. This has been absolutely great to be able to stroll the yards this year, 50-degree weather, and really see some great cattle.
We've had 50 degrees for 2 days now, and we're on Sunday looking at the forecast all the way through. We look to be in the 50s, so we're living it high here in Denver this year.
Thanks once again for joining us. Tell us about the Heifer Mark. We wish y'all success. I know this is going to be a great thing. It's going to add a different dimension to the National Western.
If anybody's interested in joining the Heifer Mark next year, just have them call the National Western Livestock Office. We'll be glad to help them get all set up.
Thanks, Marshall. Well, friends, be sure and check out StockshowConfidential.com, our Breeders' Corner. We have the top lamb, goat, pig, and cattle breeders listed there. Check it out. And this week, we're going to highlight some of the top breeders listed there. Brian Martin Show Cattle is located in Hereford, Texas. They specialize in putting you in the winner's circle. Brian Martin Show Cattle offers top-of-the-line genetics from show heifers to show steers. Check out their webpage at brianmartinshowcattle.com for more information on their upcoming sales. Brian Martin Show Cattle. Show the brand. If you'd like to be part of this exciting opportunity to showcase your breeding program or have an upcoming sale that you would like to promote, contact me at Terry at StockshowConfidential.com. Be sure and check us out at StockshowConfidential.com and like us on Facebook. If you'd like to advertise on Stock Show Confidential, please contact me, Terry at StockshowConfidential.com. Well, I'm down in the yards with Lance Ellsworth from Cattle Vision. Now, Lance, you guys were voted again for 2 years in a row best semen company out there in the best of the barns.
Yes, sir.
It's great to come down to the yards and get to visit with you guys and obviously look at good cattle. But let's talk about Cattle Visions and how you got started and what made you want to get involved in the industry.
I started Cattle Visions in 2002 with my partner, Carl Newbrow. We're headquartered out of Missouri, Terry. I actually live in southeast Wisconsin, but I was born and raised showing cattle, and I always felt called to, keep people abreast of industry issues, and I always had a pretty good eye on the judging team and things like that, and was blessed with those talents, I think, and offer an independent evaluation, so to speak. Try not to be very biased towards any one person or breed or anything like that. So when customers call us, we just kind of try to give them our own opinions, and it seems to be working okay.
How do you decide whenever they call you and they say, we're looking for some semen? What goes into the thought process of trying to fit that particular person with the right bull?
First we ask them, what's their target market going to be? How are they selling these cattle? Are they going to be selling them for shows or for seed stock operations? Then we kind of got to know the genetic makeup of their cow herd, and then from there I really study pedigrees on each of these breeds and try to make my recommendations, genetically and then phenotypically as well.
For somebody that might not understand, when we're talking about AI cattle out there and buying the semen, you can buy one straw, buy 1,000 straws.
That's right.
So it's just however many cattle that you're breeding. All right, so if someone is breeding a cow, how many straws will it take?
1 straw per animal.
Whenever y'all are analyzing cattle out there, what goes into that to figure out if this is a bull that y'all really want to draw semen on?
The unique thing about the purebred business right now is so many of these top cows are getting flushed, and we're really getting the top genetics from every cow family a lot quicker than we used to. So I rely on the purebred seed stock breeders to contact me, or I'm in contact with them to find out what's new out there. And I really like to look for unique pedigrees that will click well with the popular sires that have been used like the past 5-10 years.
Lance, let's talk for a moment about EPDs. How important is that whenever people are looking for good genetics?
Sure. Every breeder kind of has their own opinion on how important EPDs are. I think it's great. First, biggest benefit is for the calving ease. When a kid has a young heifer, or not just a kid, but cattle people have heifers out there, you have to be able to get that calf out, of course, to get your investment back out of that first heifer. So first and foremost, the birth weight EPD and calving ease EPDs are extremely important, Terry. From there, every herd kind of focuses on their own thing. Some people might try to build maternal traits better. They might look at calving ease maternal or milk EPDs. Some breeders are strictly on growth. Maybe they sell their calves at weaning time. So those EPDs kind of help sort out the sires that they might use.
Well, Lance, I know you guys are great at what you do. It's obvious, being voted twice as best semen company, so we appreciate you sitting down and visiting with us. We'll be talking with you down the road.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it.
You bet. As always, we want to thank you for tuning in each and every week to Stock Show Confidential. We close it out from here in Denver, Colorado in the National Western Stock Show. And until next time, I'm Terry Jordan saying, here's hoping that we'll see you in the winner's circle. Closed captioning brought to you by Stand Alone Feeds.